Ciao! Welcome to Talk Calcio TV, ragazzi. In this episode, we're going to give you our predictions of round 23 of this Serie A season as the Scudetto race hots up. So we start with 8th place Atalanta. They take on Chievo in 14th place. Atalanta, of course, lucky to keep hold of their top prized assets during the window. Of course, Papu Gomez being one. Chievo have brought in Emmanuel Giaccherini on loan for the rest of the season from Napoli to add some attack to their ammunition. Of course, Chievo's results haven't been great lately. They've been conceding goals. Of course, they had two players sent off last week against Juventus in a controversial game in that one. My prediction on this one, I'm going to go for a home win to Atalanta. They were defeated during the week as well in the Coppa Italia. They need to bounce back. I'm confident they will. So we're going to go for a home win to Atalanta on that one. Now, Sunday, we have top versus bottom in Serie A and a bit of a local derby. Napoli, the leaders of Serie A right now, going for their first Scudetto since 1990, take on Benevento, who are in 20th place, just on 7 points. They look like an animal waiting to be put out of their misery. I'm going to go for, of course, an away win on this one, based not just the fact Napoli are top, on current form. Benevento, of course, won 2 games. That was a false dawn, I think. Napoli, of course, who failed to land Simone Verdi and Palatano from Sassuolo. I don't think that's going to make too much difference. I expect them to pick up all 3 points this weekend. And I'm sure that kid, it went viral. You've all seen the video doing the Papu Gomez dance. I'm sure but he'll be happy this weekend. Probably doing a dance still if they remain top and win the derby. So we're going for Napoli to beat Benevento this weekend. Then we have 12th place Bologna. They take on La Viola Fiorentina, who are just above them in 11th. Now, of course, Bologna, the main thing during the transfer window, they kept hold of their main striker, Simone Verdi. However, he is now injured and it's likely he's going to be out for 2 months. So maybe they've lost out on a sale there. Napoli, I think, will count themselves lucky, having signed a player that's then got injured. Fiorentina, of course, last week beaten at home by Chievo, 4-1 at home. Dismal defenders we saw. I'm going to go for a home win for the Rossoblu on this one. I'm sure even without Verdi, they should be strong enough to pick up the 3 points. Fiorentina's lack of recruitment during a transfer window, how costly will that be in their quest for European football? Well, we're going to go for a Bologna win on this one. Then we have 15th place Cagliari against Spal in 18th place. Who should we go? I think we're going to go for a draw on this one. Of course, Spal occupy the last of the relegation spots in Serie A. Cagliari, of course, they're not by no means safe. They have a bit of a breathing space at the moment. I don't expect this game to be a classic, so we're going to say draw on this one. Then we have on Saturday night, Inter play Crotone at home at the San Siro at 7:45. Now, Inter Milan right now currently on their worst spell since 2012. I think that's 8 games without a win. The critics have come out for Spalletti. Of course, they were top of Serie A just before Christmas. They've lost their way. They haven't won. Most thought they would be in 3rd place. Now they're into 4th. Lazio have overtaken them. They've hit some form. Like we always see with Spalletti teams, you know, they start well, then they seem to drop off a bit. Luckily, obviously, Inter in the window, they kept hold of Mauro Icardi, Perisic, even Handanovic, the goalkeeper. They brought in Rafinha, as we know, on loan. Of course, the big blow, though, was not landing Javier Pastore. Sure, I've probably said this the last 2 or 3 weeks. I'm certain, though, that the Nerazzurri will win their endless run. I'm going to go for a home win for the Nerazzurri just. I don't think there'll be many goals in this game, but we're going to go for an Inter win on this one. Then we have at Juventus Stadium, the Bianconeri, the reigning champions, currently in 2nd. They host 13th place Sassuolo. Now, Sassuolo done ever so well to keep hold of Matteo Palatano on transfer deadline day. Of course, Napoli made an offer, but they stood firm. They rejected. They didn't accept, didn't sign any agreement. However, I just think the Bianconeri, you know, at the moment, Juventus aren't playing well, let's be honest. But it doesn't matter. You know, that's why they're champions. They always find a way to win. I expect them to win this weekend, no matter how pretty or ugly. If it's 1-0, if it's 3 or 4-0, I expect Juventus to win. So we're going to go for a home win to the reigning champions Juventus there. Then we have 3rd place Lazio against Genoa in 16th place. The Biancoceleste right now are absolutely flying. You know, they're into 3rd position. Of course, they're going well in the Coppa Italia. Drew the other night against AC Milan, of course, having lost to them in the league the week previous. I expect them to continue their form. You know, they're looking more likely every week at a place for the Champions League. And Simone Inzaghi what a job he is doing. You know, that team is just full of goals. Even if Immobile's out, you know, you've got players like Nani, Lucas. The goals can come from anywhere. So we're going to go for a win for Lazio at the Stadio Olimpico this weekend. Then we have 6th place Sampdoria against Torino in 9th. Now Sampdoria, what a win last week for them at the Stadio Olimpico against a poor Roma side, you can maybe say. But, you know, it doesn't matter. You know, they are on Roma's heels now. If they were to win this weekend and Roma didn't, you know, they're pushed for 5th place and then possibly more. They could even go for 4th at this rate. So I'm going to go for a home win for the Blu Chiarati here. Torino, Belotti will be back on the bench. Is he fit in time? We don't know. I just think Mazzari's men, you know, they're a bit, obviously, one week they look fired up, full of energy. The other week they look a bit lapsy-daisy. But I'm going to go for Sampdoria based on their home form. So we're going to go for a home win here, Sampdoria. Then we have 10th place Udinese. They face off at home against AC Milan at the Dacia Arena. And it's going to be 2 former AC Milan teammates facing off in the dugout as well. Of course, Massimo Oddo, head manager of Udinese, against Rino Gattuso. Of course, they were both part of the AC Milan side of the late noughties. Of course, they're both in the team that won the Champions League in 2007. So, you know, Massimo Oddo, what a job he's doing as manager of Udinese. Gattuso starting to find his feet. I mean, the other night against Lazio in the Coppa Italia, I think I mentioned earlier, that was no classic to watch by all means. But I think on this one, I'm going to say draw. Udinese, of course, did win last week, as did Milan. I just think on this one, I think obviously Milan's away form's not great. Udinese, of course, they can keep an unbeaten run going. Of course, they won 7 straight before they were beaten by Lazio. However, I'm going to go for a draw on this one. I think the two teams are going to cancel each other out. Then last, we have Verona. They hosting the Giallorossi Roma. So we've got 19th versus 5th here. Verona, what a shock result last week against Fiorentina at the Artemio Franchi to win 4-1 away from home. It's given their relegation fight a major shot in the arm. Roma currently haven't won in 7. You know, the pressure is on Eusebio Di Francesco. The knives have been out for, of course, owner Jim Pallotta and general manager Monchi. Now, Roma obviously did lose Emerson Palmieri to Chelsea in the transfer window, but they kept on of Alisson Becker, the goalkeeper, Bruno Perez, and of course the main target man, Edin Dzeko, who did not join Chelsea in the end. I've got this one down as a draw. You know, Roma need to get some form and some results soon, because, you know, if Sampdoria were to win this weekend, they'd be hot on their heels. Even if Inter were to win as well, you know, like then, you know, they're then stuck in the middle. You know, they're going to be just sliding down the table. And will Di Francesco see out the rest of the season if this form continues? So we're going to go for a draw on this one. Of course, Verona, if they could build on their win against Fiorentina last weekend, that would be something. Like I say, it's too close to call. I just think Roma's lack of goals won't help their cause either. We're going to go for a draw on this one. Bo, so tell us what you think this weekend. So, those were our previews and our predictions of round 23 in the Serie A season. Tell us what you think. Who will be top of the Scudetto race come the end of the weekend? Who will win top versus bottom in the Southern Derby between Napoli and Benevento? Can Juventus keep on Napoli's heels? Will Roma's dismal form end? What will happen? Can Inter end their winless streak as well? Don't forget to subscribe, Talk Calcio TV on YouTube, and tell us what you think. Arrivederci.